special attack and speed by 2 stages each. Yet, when a battle with Veluza starts, it's perfectly healthy. So either it's not shedding the flesh, and therefore moves crazy fast despite its speed stat, or it is, and is recovering before it attacks you. Which would be nonsense, because it doesn't recover that health that it loses in battle. Wiglet has a higher speed stat than Revavroom, which, unlike Varoom, does not have ludicrously low speed. Revavroom's is 90, which is slower than I'd expect, but still decent. Meanwhile, the little Eels is 95. Wiglet's relative Doug trio is also weirdly are used to zip the player around Hisui. Yet they both have base speed stats of 65. That is slower than Cottony. Buffalant is a big bison known for powerful charges, yet it is slower than Venipede. How does a bison move slower than a Tenebug? Celesteela, an ultra beast that people saw flying across the sky at high speed, only has 61 base speed. This is slower than Alcremie. The rocket ship loses to a pile of cream that doesn't have legs. My mortal enemy Miltank has a base speed stat of 100, which is a smidge faster than Genesect. Miltank is a stupid fat cow with sausage nipples. Meanwhile, Genesect can transform into a flying spaceship. How is the spaceship slower? 100 is actually the same speed stat as Galarian Zapdos, which is confusingly low for this Pokemon. It's a Roadrunner that you have to chase across the wild area, and the Dex explicitly states that it runs through the mountains at over 180 miles per hour. You're telling me that this thing runs at almost 200 miles an hour, yet it's slower than Dedenne? Is this hamster the Flash? Speaking of Dex entries with specific speeds, Pidgeot states this Pokemon flies at Mach 2 speed. Mach 2 means twice the speed of sound. That's over 1,500 miles per hour. Yet its base speed is 101, which is the same as Dedenne. How fast is this hamster? Jumpluff, a dandelion creature that floats along the wind, has a higher speed stat than Iron Treads, a literal wheel from the future. Then finally for speed, Perugly has a base speed stat of 112. This is faster than Latios and Latias, which the Dex says can overtake jet planes. The pudgy fat cat can outrun jets. Next up is Bulk, and this one's a little trickier to cover. That's because a lot of Pokemon may seem frail due to low defense and special defense, but then end up having really high HP, making it bulkier than its defensive stats alone convey. And of course, the inverse can also be true. Additionally, HP and special defense are harder to visualize because they're like life force and magic resistance, and like, what does that look like? To simplify things, almost all of these entries will focus on physical defense, since how well something should be able to take a punch or a slash is much easier to visualize than HP or special defense. All Evolutions have one stat that's a huge 130, but most of them make sense. Jolteon is really fast, Espeon has high special attack, Umbreon withstands magic and energy. But as we've already covered, Flareon hits weirdly hard physically, then Leafeon, a cat made of leaves, somehow withstands physical strikes better than a Pokemon hiding within solid stone. What? It's leaves. It's made of leaves. Macargo has a confusingly high defense stat of 120, higher than solid metal Bronzong. While rock types are known for having high defense, Macargo doesn't make as much sense here, since the Dex says the shell on its back is just skin that has cooled and hardened. It breaks easily with a slight touch. The only thing I can think of that maybe justifies the high defense, that its magma body is squishy, so like a punch it just like squishes and burns, but I still think it's weird it has such
He's not forgotten
Gross. While not as high as previously mentioned, Horsey's defense stat is 70. This is oddly high since it's just a baby seahorse, and in fact is equal to the steel type Magnitude. Not all steel types have good defense though. Togedemaru, which is literally a metal ball of spikes, only has a defense stat of 63. It's lower than Chikorita. Lunatone's is also oddly poor considering that it's made of rock. Its defense is only 65, which is lower than Skinny Monkey Ambipom. Nincada shockingly has double the defense of its evolution Ninjax. While it's not unheard of for an evolution to get less bulky than its pre-evolution to focus more on speed, is so awful. Its base stat total is only 385, which is lower than Small Dragonfly Gamma.
Defense is higher than my Luxor.
Baby Pokemon Munchlax. I know they remedied it by creating Steelix in the next generation, but it is still insane to me that at any point in time, they thought it made sense for this iconic rock serpent to be so darn weak. Thanks so much for watching. With an extra special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon for helping support my channel independent of fluctuating YouTube ad rate.
Twice as long as it's upgraded. You can actually read this tube. It's